Welcome back after a brief hiatus.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope everybody's summer is good and winding down.
Yep. What's in your publication these days?
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the incredible shrinking media landscape. I don't know if you've heard, but FiOS.
Jeff had it on our news all morning. I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah, and it's not in a vacuum. It's FiOS one, and last week we reported on the buyout of Gannett by Gatehouse Media. So that's been, the Journal News now has been gobbled up by an even larger entity. And so I think, the question is, what does this mean for hyperlocal journalism? If for me, it means that Rockland County Business Journal has found the market at exactly the right time.
I'm sorry. Did you know this, Jeff?
Did I know what?
The Journal News got bought out by Gatehouse Media.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was was it last
week?
We
had that in the public. Yeah. That was in Rockland County Business Journal last week.
Yeah.
And. I don't know what the implications of once again being swallowed up by yet again an even larger entity. But you just need to look around at the media landscape to know that there's a real dearth or deficit of local news, which is why we've, been filling that vacuum. But, it's when local news goes away, it's very dangerous. I mean, the Fourth Estate, are the watchdogs for the public, and without people covering, as it is, journalism, local journalism has been so terribly diluted in the last 10 or more years, and every time you see another hit like this, it's really it's really a problem for our democracy. I mean, you need the news media at the very least to try to keep up with what's going on. Back in the day, and I don't know, Jeff. Are you a former journalist, or I can't remember?
My first job was at WRCR Radio in the early '90s as a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I've been, in the news business for more than 35 years, and back in the day, reporters covered zoning boards and school boards and planning boards and town councils and hung around the police station, and so people knew what was coming down the pike before it was a done deal. There was an opportunity, even at the most hyperlocal level, to head off the graft and the dishonesty or local officials, whatever. And little by little, we've lost that.
Well, nowadays the change-off has been that news has become expensive to produce, and it's cheaper for what was once known as a legitimate news organization to follow someone on Facebook or Twitter and find the most courageous videos that someone has produced or outrageous videos that someone has posted and use that as news and say, hey, look at what some guy posted on Facebook, and hey, look at what this woman posted on Instagram. There's your news. So that unfortunately has soiled not only the local news aspect of things, but the whole news game in general.
Well, that's why, if I might give ourselves a plug, we have tried to stay on top of breaking stories and stories as they evolve and to give them context and analysis for this very reason. Because people, think about it. The more in the dark we are, the more ignorant we become. The more dangerous our society becomes. When power is concentrated in the hands of the few, and when that few does not have to worry about checks and balances, you're starting to move into a whole different kind of society. And we take for granted that we have this open democratic society, but the truth is that with the dilution of journalism, that has been less so for years and years and years.
Does this merger or acquisition, also include USA Today?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You're talking about Gatehouse Media, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gatehouse Media bought Gannett, which is the owner of USA Today, which owns the Journal News, and in our area...
The Bergen Record.
Bergen Record, which is my old stomping ground.
Right.
The Poughkeepsie Journal, the Asbury Park Press. I mean, so just to name a few. They have hundreds in their stable. I mean, but when you have these, these basically huge conglomerates owning all of the country's newspapers, well, look at what you've got. I mean, it's terrible. I think it's quite terrible. Now, will Verizon swap out FiOS 1 for another news producer? We shall see. But right now, the announcement is that they're going to shut down in November 16th.
Right.
So, and I think that we know here in Rockland, News 12 definitely treats Rockland as an afterthought. So, yeah, I mean, Rockland County, we're not, I'm doing my best to play my role in this and to break news.
As we are too.
And as you are too. But it's the shrinking landscape is definitely something to be watched. And speaking of shrinking, yet another retailer is going out, which we reported late last week. The women's plus-size retailer Avenue. It's another Nanuet retailer closing its doors. I don't know if you've been to the Brixmore shopping center lately, but there's a shopping center that always seemed extremely viable, and there are plenty of empty stores there in the mall.
But this one that you just mentioned, do they have an outlet at the shops in Nanuet?
Not at the shops in Nanuet, across the street by the Kohl's. Yeah. They, wait, yeah, that's where it is, or will be until it isn't. So, yeah, I think that there are a lot of shifting winds, and I don't know what.
Wait, is it in the Kohl's opposite where like Service Merchandise used to be? Is that where that's located? Not across from the shops in Nanuet.
No, it's a little bit further west. No, wait, east, a little further east.
Okay, so yeah, it's opposite where Aldi is coming in, but the old
Pathmark.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that is taking forever to build. I do not know why, but
it's getting there though. But I see some changes. It's not just an empty shell of what Pathmark used to be anymore.
That's true.
It's moving.
Yeah, that's true. So so another retailer is going out. And it's subtle, but we're really in a time of major reinvention.
Whose fault is that? I mean, you live locally. You buy. I'm assuming. I'm guessing you not only shop locally, but you buy on Amazon or elsewhere online as well. I mean, no, or do you not? Or do you say to yourself, look, if I buy something on Amazon, I'm hurting a local business. I'm going to a local company.
Okay, I am sure that I am just as guilty as everybody else. Of course, I shop on Amazon. It's easy. It's simple. It saves me the hassle. It saves me the time. But I think it's very easy just to point at the internet and say, oh, the internet has cratered the retail business. I think it's something else, though. I just think that there's been too much of everything. There's just too much crap that consumers is a glut that we just don't need.
I say that all the time. I'm thinking, how many pizza places can one town support before you take away all the pizza business from everybody? I mean, how many water parks do you need in the tri-state area before you realize people can't go to water parks every day of the summer or every day even during the winter?
How many home goods stores, that are cavernous and sell, 2,000 products? How many of those do we need? How many fast food places do we need? I think there's just a glut. I think.
By the way, is the at-home thing in business yet?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. That'll be not till 2021, right?
That's what I think we reported.
I think so.
That's
going to be a while.
Yeah, by that time, I think that the retail landscape may look a bit different. We shall see. But I think that we just got to the point where we've created such a glut of retail that it's obsolete. I think that's really the point, is that it's obsolete. We just don't need that much stuff.
I agree. There's a glut of things in too small of an area that you just don't need that many. I understand that. But see, to me, there are things that can exist online and should exist still in the real world. Like I know for me personally, if I want to buy a book or a DVD, which is ironic in this world because those things hardly sell anywhere anyway at this point since everybody streams it. But I can buy those things online easily. It doesn't matter whether I have it in person or not. But things like clothes or food, I can't buy that stuff online. I can't bring myself to do that. I have to feel, touch. There's things that just need to be touched and felt and viewed first in person. And then, okay, now I want it now, so I'll go home with it now. I'm not going to wait till it's shipped.
But here's like a simple thing, right? So I have this favorite chewing gum.
And we got to wrap it up. I'm sorry, Tina, real quick, because we got another show coming on at 9:30.
Yeah. And it's this gum that was hard to find, And so now I go on the internet. It's like these little things that are too hard to run around and look for. They're right there on the internet. So who doesn't go do that?
Right.
Anyway, have a great week.
Yeah, you too. Let's just make sure people know where to find all this stuff. It's Rockland County. That's RCBiz, B-I-Z, journal.com. Now, I got it right for the first time. Now I'm going to do it nice and slow again. RCBiz, B-I-Z, journal.com. And you're right there, right?
All right. You get a star.
All right, good for you. Thank you. We'll talk to you next Monday.